Time for the technical portion, under the hood segment of the Ford Maverick. Based on the C2 platform, which underpins the Escape, the Bronco Sport, and previously in years past, Focuses and things like that. Well, we don't get those anymore, we get this instead, and that's not such a bad thing. As a previous owner of a Plymouth Scamp, I'm okay with it. So
GT.
Yes, it's a Scamp GT. Brian has pointed out there's a Scamp GT, which means it looked faster. So, trimmer. What does trimmer mean? Does it mean it just looks more off-roady? We'll talk about that, but before we get into that, this has the 2-liter EcoBoost, good for 250 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, and 277 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. Not bad. 0 to 60 times are in another video. Go check that one out to see what it did. I'll tell you, it's not that bad considering what this is. EPA mileage, well, I've got the window sticker right here, and it says, well, it says not for sale, EPA data, not available. It's not even on the Fuel Economy website. That's because we're one of the first, in fact, we're actually the first in the state of Texas to drive this thing. I can tell you what we got. Brian lives in the city, he got 19. I live in the country, I got 24. So our unofficial EPA rating is 19 city, 24 highway. In fact, our combined driving, we got 22. So I feel like it's a pretty good test. Maybe the EPA should hire us. You let us know in the comments if you want us to do that. What is it paired to? It's paired to an honest-to-goodness traditional 8-speed automatic transmission. No CVTs here like you see in some other quote-unquote faux off-roaders. This is not a CVT here, and we're happy about that. Before we move on from the engine and powertrain, the automatic that it's paired to, I just want to point out that this engine is the same thing you found in the Focus ST. God rest its soul. Now, let's talk about some other goodies that the trimmer gives you, and that is the twin clutch rear drive unit is what Ford calls it. Basically what that is the same rear diff that you find in the Bronco Sport Badlands and also the Focus RS. That's right, you heard it. Focus ST engine, Focus RS rear end. I was good they started laughing. Also found in the Bronco Sport Badlands and also found in the Focus RS. That's right, we've got a Focus RS rear end and a Focus ST engine. Someone please get us a manual. Maybe we'll get one for you down the road when we get one out of a junkyard. Who knows? With that though, let's turn it over to Brian and let's talk about the other trimmer goodies when it comes to suspension and tires and all that fun stuff.
All right, boys and girls, time for the nuts and bolts. My favorite part of doing these things. Let's start with the rubber, Craig. What do we have? Jeez, jeez.
Hope I broke your foot.
Saved with a kneecap. This is a 235/65/17, as you can tell, Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws. These are the real ones, not like the ones we've seen on some other vehicles that have fake sidewalls and stuff. These are really good on the highway. They're super quiet. They handle really great, and they can take a beating. They've got some actual ply on the sidewall. They're great on dirt roads. Craig abused them there. We've done the hill test with this, as you can tell, and it did remarkably well in terms of tire. So stay tuned for that episode coming out as well. There's a few things I want to hit off right away. What is the trimmer package for the Maverick and what is the trimmer in general? The trimmer is always a entry-level but still aggressive off-road option, and Ford is bringing it to their smallest truck now. They've got it in all the others, the Ranger, the F-150, and the Super Duty. Ford calls this the entry-level off-road option for truck buyers. They are not calling this as good as the Ranger or the 150 or 350. The Ranger, in our opinion, is the best trimmer package of all of them because you get Fox shocks, and it's just kind of the right bowl of porridge for the way we would want to use one of these, and it's incredibly capable. This is really meant for those that don't need low range, they want to go to campsites, and they want it to be capable when they get into a little bit of trouble, and it is. We can report that for sure. What do you get in the trimmer package? A 1-inch suspension lift, and that's done with different shocks, struts, and springs. That lift is achieved through the spring itself. It's just a taller spring to make it work out. It does come out to be 1.1 inches taller than the two-wheel drive variant and 0.8 inches taller than the FX4 all-wheel drive variant that is beneath this. The biggest deal to me is the approach and departure angles and breakover angles. The regular two-wheel drive Maverick will be 20.6 on approach angle, which is abysmally terrible for anything considering to do off-road at all. It's just not good. I think some hatchbacks are better than that. The trimmer, by contrast, is not 20.6, it's 30.7, not a little bit more, a full 10.1 degrees more. And that is achieved with a different front fascia and the ride height and also the tire size being a little bit taller too. It freaking works. We are happy with that, and that's such a big difference. We have had full-size trucks with numbers smaller than that. 24 is normal on a full-size truck. So that's an impressive approach angle. As far as breakover, it increases from 21.9 to 22.2, and it increases on departure 16.6 to 19.9. Overall ground clearance, again, is an inch taller. So, what are your options with the trimmer? You can do the trimmer package, which is $3,000, which gives you the rear diff that you have here with the locking rear end, all the hardware that we're talking about, and capabilities, as well as trail control. That is only available on the trimmer package. That is not an option on the FX4. You have to go to get the trimmer for that, and it works as well. The other option you can have is the trimmer appearance package, which we would honestly just skip. Doesn't look bad, I just don't think I would spend $1,500 to get it. It gives you the stripes on the hood, the stripes on the side lower doors, as well as a gray painted roof and gray painted mirror caps. It just doesn't make it any better off-road, it just makes it cooler in your pictures. Not worth it for me. Let's talk about towing and payload. It's a small truck. It originally was a Ford Focus platform. Keep that in mind when I say the towing is 2,000 pounds. That being said, it could be a lot worse. It gets it done for what you need to do. You can pull around like golf carts and that kind of stuff, or an overlanding trailer, that will work here. But if you're doing anything serious, this is not the package for you. Payload, by contrast, is really good. It's 1,200 pounds, and that is right there with full-size pickups. That's really impressive. Again, this is the urban gardening champ right here. I beg you to find something that parks as well as it does and hauls as much crap as this one will. You also get a heavy-duty transmission cooler as standard on the trimmer package. Let's talk about design overall and suspension. Up front, it's just like the other Mavericks. It's McPherson strut, coilover design, coil around the strut itself, aluminum lower L-arm, super simple, disc brakes in all four corners, easy peasy. Out back, that's where the magic's happening. This is what Craig was talking about with the Bronco Badland Sport or the Focus RS rear diff with a twin clutch or a dual clutch design. That means that the output of the axle itself has a clutch on either end. And in the Focus RS application, it can actually torque vector, meaning that the rear end gear ratio is actually a little higher than the front final drive in the transmission. If it fully engages the clutches, it will actually spin faster than the front wheels, allowing it to rotate the car. That's not what's happening here, but that's what this thing is capable of. What these clutch packs are doing here is when you get a tire in the air, in most cases, on any vehicle, the tire in the air that has the least restriction on the ground will just spin endlessly in the air, flinging itself, and you won't go anywhere. All your power is wasted. This will lock it 1-to-1 with the rear tires, and it'll keep that thing synced, and we've tested it 100 times. It is not overheated on us. It has worked flawlessly. So even though it's a clutch pack design, it is working just like a diff on a regular F-150. Praise the Lord, that works great. Also, you do have a center differential lock, which means you can lock it 50% front and rear. It just works. We're impressed with it. We like it. If you're interested in the road test, if you want 0 to 60 times, if you want hill tests, if you want to see mud fling, check out other videos below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.